The SCP-Foundation, which stands for Secure, Contain, and Protect, is a secret organization that protects mankind by capturing and containing various beings and objects that could pose a threat to the world or mankind. The SCP-Foundation is a collaborative fiction project, which means there is no true canon. Every project file contradicts each other. While some files have similar characters, plots, and locations, not everything is the same, and it's all unique, which is perfect for this video because we can create a new world where the Odd Squad organization is now running the SCP-Foundation. Can they run it? And how much can they handle? What SCPs can they contain? Like I've said earlier, it's pretty much an educational PG version of the SCP-Foundation, where kids go around and solve anything odd. They've existed way back, since the beginning of the world. They have many villains and creatures that goes around the world that causes mayhem and potentially world ending. There is Flatum, a villain who can turn any 3D object into 2D, or mainly cubes. A giant chicken that can shoot lasers, a kaiju-sized sea monster, a cat spider. There's also objects that are odd, such a collection of unlucky coins. Having one of those coins would give you the worst of luck, which ranges from having broken mirrors to potentially world ending caused by meteors. Now, that's unlucky. There are no cases too big or cases too small for the Odd Squad. They have gadgets that can pretty much solve any issue or do anything. There is a Dayinator which can zap you into any day of this year. It's kind of like a time machine. A Cherry on Topinator, which is self-explanatory. The gadgets are all in one. Every type of machine have a certain number labeled onto it. If you want a hole-in-one-inator, it's labeled number 10. So combine gadgets that can add up to 10 and you have yourself a hole-in-one-inator gadget. The Odd Squad organization is legit. They have different departments and jobs, each having their own symbol. They have security, science, investigation, creature care, medical. They even have a glue department, which is very important because they are responsible keeping the Odd Squad building together with glue. Don't ask why. They also have lots of rooms like the SCP-Foundation, each containing certain creatures, objects, or even environments such as a growing potato room, where you take a bite of that potato, you grow a lot bigger, depending on how much you eat it. There are rooms that contains black holes, lava, a polka band, you name it, they got it. To go over some of Odd Squad's best capture or odd problems they solved is quite complicated, because in the show, while yes, it can be simple as a person playing a cello when it sounds like a trumpet, to a giant kaiju creature. To figure out how much Odd Squad can handle is an understatement. In the show, they stopped odd cases that is not too catastrophic and it's more of a silly situation. But don't get it twisted, the SCP-Foundation has their fair share of SCPs that is in the silly realm, such as SCP-504, which is essentially a sentient tomato that can fly at speeds at least 100 miles per hour towards someone that tells a terrible joke. Another one is SCP-999, which is essentially a orange slime that behaves like a dog, and when in contact with the SCP, feels much more happier than it was before, and was used to calm SCP-682, which, if you guys don't know what 682 is, it's pretty much an unstoppable monster. But in almost every episode of Odd Squad, as it wraps up, they mention that they handle cases that is beyond what the show can cover. There are no cases too big, or cases too small. For the SCP-Foundation, they have classes ranking how easy or difficult containing that SCP. There is Safe, Euclid, and Keter, which is the most difficult and dangerous SCPs to contain. Thaumiel are anomalies the Foundation uses for their own benefits, such as helping contain and neutralize other dangerous SCPs. For Odd Squad, a villain named Baby Genius would technically be a Thaumiel. They would go to Baby Genius for information in exchange for bribes, while Baby Genius would still be a villain, even though Odd Squad don't really contain villains. The SCP the Odd Squad can handle for sure would be SCP-999, or known as the Tickle Monster, SCP-131, the iPods, SCP-2400, the Lucky Cat, just pretty much the safe class. And the Euclid class would be tricky, but overall the Odd Squad would have a creative mindset when it comes to solving problems, unlike the Foundation themselves taking the more harsh solution for containing anomalies. An example for Euclid would be SCP-294, a coffee machine that dispenses out almost anything that is liquid, such as coffee, soda, beer, motor oil, nitrogen, and sulfuric acid. And if you watch the Odd Squad, then you already know what Miss O is going to use that SCP for. To supply her with unlimited juice boxes in all flavors. A Keter class would be pretty much the limit, as if it wasn't already obvious since we're talking about kids dealing with murderous SCPs. An SCP I can see them handle would be SCP-682, a hard to destroy reptile. They can use the Shrinkinator to shrink the SCP and use 999 to calm it down. We've talked about what kind of SCPs and classes could Odd Squad handle, but what about what canon story Odd Squad fit into? I said earlier I could just make up a canon story and end it with that. I mentioned again, not all articles are comprised into one canon story. I've gone over a couple of sites and articles that could fit best with the Odd Squad, and here are some to name. Site 17, the Deep Well catalogs focus on integrations and humane treatment, and it aligns well with Odd Squad ethos, as they often treat their oddities as challenges to be resolved, not threats to be destroyed. As displayed in the show, they don't bring in the victims and contain for further research, they already have the solutions ready to go. A perfect story, well, not a canon story, but a perfect article for the Odd Squad is the anomalous items, and it's pretty much what the Odd Squad has been doing on their show. An example of an item of the list is a penny when flipped always face heads up, or SCP-330, a bowl of candy when, if a person takes more than one piece of candy, both of your hands will be severed down to the molecular level. Very odd, I'd say. What's unique about Odd Squad is their longevity. They've existed when time began. Miss O being a great example, she is over at least 200 years old, and apparently kids at Odd Squad can pause their growth and remain a child for as long as they like. One of the big O's who stepped down from managing the team said that he can finally go through kindergarten, or he said that he paused kindergarten for this. But overall, could Odd Squad manage the SCP-Foundation? Absolutely. It's not much different than what they were doing in the show, just a little less brutal. But what do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below what other crazy matchups you want me to talk about, and be sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on Twitch. The link will be in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.